សមាជិកគណៈបក្សសង្គ្រោះជាតិប្រាជ្ញាប្រធានសាមគ្គីក្រុមនានាសង្គ្រោះបម្រើការពារកម្ពុជាខ្មែរត្រឹមរកគ្នាទាមទារសិទ្ធិសេរីឯករាជ្យបូរណភាពអធិបតេយ្យខ្មែរប្រុសស្រីបដូរផ្ដាច់ថែរក្សាមិនឲ្យបរទេសឈ្លានពានមកត្រួតត្រាសម្បត្តិដូនតាធនធានជាតិខ្មែរ
Hello and thank you and welcome for joining us today. This is Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. This show is part of the CNRP America TV show. My name is Linda Wu. Today is Tuesday, June the 1st, 2021. Happy first day of June. Before we start, please help to support our petitions. Ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Together we fight to end impunity. Together we hold Hun Sen responsible for the continued killing and hurting Cambodian. Until now, Hun Sen have never found any perpetrator responsible for any of the barbaric acts. Hundreds of victims have never received any justice. So please help to sign our petitions at change.org. The title is Ending Impunity for Justice in Cambodia. I have a short clip explaining the Ending Impunity for Justice in Cambodia. Please watch and also please help to share and support our petitions. Thank you.
តើយុត្តិធម៌ឬនីតិរដ្ឋភាព
Between 1975 and 1979, the green rice fields of Cambodia became the killing fields of Cambodia. Over 2 million lives were lost, including the lives of my own parents and many of my relatives. The Khmer Rouge wanted a society that is equal according to them. We still live and we are haunted with the legacy of the Khmer Rouge, which is the culture of impunity that continues to exist in Cambodia today. It is for this reason that we have started a campaign, worldwide campaign, a campaign to end impunity in Cambodia by seeking justice for cases, for the executions, for the killings that are organized, that are backed by the state. Among those cases of state-backed killings are the killings of Tieu, a very famous trade union leader, Bisep Pilaka, a ballet dancer, of Khmer, an independent analyst, of Chutvuti, a well-known environmentalist, of Venerable Sun Bun-Thuen, who was advocating for the monks to have the right to vote, including workers who demanded fair wages. The campaign will also advocate for governments that are members of the United Nations to put pressure on the government of Cambodia to conduct independent investigations by using universal tools such as the UN Protocol for Independent Investigation. The campaign will also advocate for governments that believe and want to protect universal human rights to impose sanctions on the leaders of the government of Cambodia who are implicated in these state-backed extrajudicial killings. We ask you to be with us, to support us, to be part of a campaign to end the culture of impunity in Cambodia and to find justice for those who have been waiting for justice for their loved ones killed by the state. There cannot be real peace unless there is justice There cannot be justice unless there is independent investigation. And then take those cases to an independent justice system. Join us by signing on this petition. Thank you.
យើងរួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
Thank you and welcome back. Please help to support our petitions ending impunity for justice in Cambodia at change.org. Currently we have 86,000, almost 86,400 signatures so far. So we need your help to sign and share and support our petitions. Again, it is called Ending Impunity for Justice in Cambodia. Together, it's a worldwide campaign to find justice for victims of Cambodian state-backed killing. So the petition again is Ending Impunity for Justice in Cambodia at change.org. Thank you, and for our friends and family, and for our audience that have signed the petition already. Thank you so much. Still, we need your support, and we need your support is really vital in this campaign. Thank you very much. I would like to start our show by saying hello to my audience. I haven't done that for a while, so I would like to take the opportunity to say hello, Bong Linda Prum. I think she's in Thailand, so Jum Hiep Suo Bong, and also Jum Hiep Suo Nat Ming Linda York and Bong Supal Singh as well. And I have an audience. Her name is Wana Peng. She's Tong, I think. So she say, hello everyone, how you guys doing? We are great. I am doing great. Hopefully you are doing well, Bong Bana. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to our audience who's here every Tuesday to listen to us speaking in English. So thank you. Let me introduce our topic. Our topic today is Khmer. This is a Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. Our topic is mental wellness and self-care. I am so glad that we talk about that, because all of us know somebody or have experience, or at the same time we have stress in our body, and we have stress, and we know somebody who has stress, and we all need to take care of ourselves. So I am glad that we talk about this topic. I have three wonderful guests that's here today. Let me introduce them one at a time. The first one, her name is Sandra Gentry. Well, she'd been here before, long time ago, but now she's back. So I'm glad that she had the opportunity. Also, she has some free time for us. So let me bring her out. Sandra, Dr. Sandra.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, I am so excited. So let me just give you a little background about myself. I am a pharmacist. I've been a pharmacist for 30 plus years. I am also a life coach focusing on gut health and mental wellness. So I am so excited that I have the opportunity to speak with you all, because this is really my passion, is to help empower others to take care of themselves and feel better. Because when we feel better, we do better.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra, and I totally agree. And again, you are one busy person, so thank you for taking the time to give us the time today for being here today.
You are so welcome.
Thank you. Let me bring my second guest. Her name is Selena Tieu. She is the public health student from North Carolina. Selena.
Miss Linda.
How are you?
I'm doing well. A little bit about myself. This is my first time here, and I'm a rising senior at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And as Miss Linda had said, I am a public health student at the Gillings School of Public Health. And thank you for having me here today.
Thank you for taking the for being here today. I'm so glad. You new to our show, and um, thank you. We appreciate that. All my guests, I always appreciate that they always take time to be here to talk to me and also talk to audience. And we each Tuesday we always bring a different topic, so that way different perspective from different people. So thank you, Selena, for being here. Our next guest, she's been here already, and she's been here many times, and she's really always a pleasure to be here. She loves being here, and she is from Calgary, Canada, and her name is Kathy Dow. Kathy. How are you doing, Paon?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. For our audience that have not been here or have not seen you here, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Of course. So my name's Kathy. I live in Canada. I am currently an MOA, a medical office assistant, and that's my career right now. Other than that, I've been in and out of Calgary and all that, and just that's where my life has been, just Calgary, in and out.
Oh, thank you, Kathy, for always for make yourself available to our show. Like I believe once a month you here. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome.
Let me put all our three guests back. Okay, all the three guests have medical background except myself. So so I'm gonna just our topic is talking about mental health and also talking about self-care. At the end, we'll touch base a little bit on self-care. The reason we're talking about mental health, I mean, today is June 1st, but the whole month of May in America, I'm not sure in Canada, Kathy, in May, we celebrate what we call Mental Health Awareness Month. And that is to bring attention to basically taking care of yourself, and also to bring attention to end the stigma regarding mental illness or mental health, which is somehow related, but many people think it's different. I have Dr. Sandra here. She is so kind. She's going to help us, and basically she's going to explain to us what's the difference between mental health and mental illness, so that way our audience understand, like, hey, what is it that we're talking about when we talk about mental health, and why is it mental health related to mental illness later on, and why is it coming back to mental health?
All right, yes. And a lot of times when people say mental health, mental wellness, they automatically think of mental illness. Unfortunately, that's just what's been brought up in the past. And thank goodness there's been athletes, there's been actors, a lot of people that have come forward with their struggles. So we are ending the stigma around that. And it does start with mental health. It starts with taking care of yourself first and foremost before you move over into that mental illness side, which is, it can vary for each person. It's anxiety, it's depression, it is, it can be bipolar disease, and there's some very real mental illnesses out there. But, a lot of it starts with just, if we can take care of ourselves, we don't tip over into that mental illness side. And just because we have, if you're ever diagnosed by a physician or a healthcare practitioner with mental illness, depression, anxiety, anything like that, it doesn't mean that you are doomed to be there forever. You can reverse that. And so I always like to empower people to really look at their lifestyle, look at taking care of themselves first and foremost, and just see what changes they can make. It's not a death sentence by any means, and you can definitely do things to better yourself so that you don't tip over to that side. And if you end up with a diagnosis from a doctor, just know that too is reversible, that you can get back out of that.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. Yes, I read, and what they say is May is Mental Health Month. Basically, they want to spread the word that mental health is something that everyone should care about, and it starts with being aware, and also the reason the whole month is called Mental Health Awareness Month is to provide and to remind that mental health is essential, and that living with mental health issue are deserving care. So basically, we need to bring attention that we need to take better care of ourselves. We need to understand ourselves, and it's a pathway that if you, like you said, that if you are experiencing mental illness or you've been diagnosed that your doctor said, oh, you have anxiety, it's not that you're going to have anxiety forever. You need to actually take care of yourself, that so that way you, when take care of yourself, meaning take care of mental health, healthily taking care of yourself, so that way you be coming back to normal. I mean, it never is going to be normal, but at least to a regular life, regular activity that you used to do.
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. Let me have my other guests chime in so that way they can help. Kathy or Selena, you want to chime in on May last month on the health awareness? Do you is there something like that in Canada, Kathy, that May is Mental Health Awareness Month?
Yeah, definitely. In May here, it's exact same thing as where you guys are, the States. We do have a month. Also, it is also shared with another month, I shall say. Like there's something else along with mental health, but like most likely it is basically. I'm sorry, I'm not doing very good right now.
It's okay.
But yeah, we definitely have our mental health month. Most people that I see when they come into my clinic, it's all of it in May is just about mental health. Like so many people, and that's usually the most time I see them come in to talk about it with the doctor.
And from what you're understanding, what is mental health? What do you understand of that term?
Mental health is just basically, from my perspective, it's just something that's in your body, but like that we don't know, or yet we know it in some sort of way. So like if we, like for example, if I had anxiety, then I would say like, okay, I have anxiety, but not sure what it is just yet until I get, make sure what it is. If that makes a little sense.
Thank you, Kathy. How about you, Selena? Do you know anything at school? Or do you do anything at school to not celebrate, basically bring awareness? It's not something to celebrate, but it's something to be the school, that they are awareness that, hey, this month we're doing this, and if you have issue or you stress out, you can come and talk to us, anything like that.
Yeah, so, well, first to kind of answer Kathy, I think the month of May is also Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And so I think that kind of fits perfectly with our talk today, talking about mental health, and especially in relation to our Cambodian audience, the Asian American community. I think in terms of mental health, I think that's something that's important to know is, I think Dr. Sandra also kind of pointed out at this, like being able to diagnose mental illness. I think that is also important, but I think especially with our Asian American community, we're afraid of that label, of a disease or illness. And so I think the whole point of Awareness Month is to make mental health more, like make people more aware of what exactly it is, that it's not necessarily a chronic disease or anything like that. I know that from my research, I found I think a Kaiser Family Foundation survey had kind of listed by race and ethnicity the number of reporting of mental health. And it was surprising to me to find the Asian community being ranked the lowest. And I think to think more critically, is it really because we have our life together, or is it because we're scared to report that we have anxiety and stress, or if we think that to be considered depressed, it has to be something way worse than what we're experiencing now. So yeah, I think Awareness Month is just to make everyone more aware of exactly what it is.
Thank you, Selena. Yes, you touch a good point regarding the Asian community. I never heard of anxiety translated to in Khmer in Cambodian. I mean in Cambodian language. When people that different or people that act differently or people being sick differently, normally we would just call them crazy. so I wouldn't even know how to translate that. I think most people would, even if they translate into Khmer, it would be, something's wrong going on with your mind or some you overthinking, and that's also start out with overthinking, right, Dr. Sandra? When mental health is overthinking, stressing your body, and then you go into mental illness where it's, it's not one day. It's not like one day you overthinking. It's many years of stressful situations.
Correct. Yeah, it's that chronic stress that plays out so differently for different people, and it can manifest for one person as anxiety, for another person depression, high blood pressure. You have physical symptoms, but the symptoms are just that. They're clues to, we need to look at what else is going on. How did we get that way? Which is why I want people to look at, you didn't just get there overnight. And going back and tracing, this is what's been happening in my life. This is what's going on. What can I change to improve this and make it better?
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. Yes, I do agree. It's not an overnight, and many people I'm experiencing from the Cambodian community is many years of stressful, many years of overthinking, many years of lack of sleep, and at the same time, people would just keep going. Like people would, people say, "Oh, I'm so busy raising my kid. I'm so busy with school and with work. So school, work, kid, and keep going in a cycle. And when they get to their 40, their 50, that's when that hit them, and they're like, what's wrong with me? And just not with me, with them, or with them personally. And they would never think that that's what they have.
Right. Selena mentioned that, sometimes that people are afraid to report it. People are afraid to actually admit, I need help, and I'm struggling, I need help, and they wait till it gets so bad that they really do require medications. And a lot of times you just need to talk to somebody. Sometimes we keep it all inside, and it's just admitting that, hey, I need some help here, and this is what's going on. Unfortunately, and I don't know how it is in Canada, but here a lot of times our practitioners automatically just say, okay, you have a little anxiety, you're depressed, I'm going to give you a medication, because they don't have time to dig a little bit deeper. And medications are fine if you need them, but even as a pharmacist, I'm a proponent of, we can go another path. Let's look at something else. But unfortunately, I don't think our healthcare system has the time to really delve into that and help people work on themselves.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. Yes, talking about stress, we have been stressful for the 1.5 years because of COVID-19. I'm not sure about you, but I'm, stressful about, going outside, getting COVID, going outside, people were not wearing masks. I'm not, it's just a constantly hearing what's going on, and the numbers keep going up. And now it's better that we have vaccine. Where you at? How is the COVID situation at your place, Dr. Sandra?
It's much improved. We had a resurgence there probably after Christmas, probably with everybody's family gatherings. We had numbers really go up at the hospital, but now they've come down a lot. It's very interesting because nobody had the flu this year. Nobody had the flu. Everybody had COVID. So that it was totally interesting, because usually we're reporting all these cases of the flu. So, but yeah, COVID definitely brought out more anxiety, more stress, if you looked at the news, I mean, I didn't look at the news very much because you could just get so depressed and so anxious. So you just really had to focus on self-care. But there was a lot of people that were on watching the news every single day and just adding to stress and anxiety. It's something you really couldn't control.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. How about you, Selena? How's your how's the COVID-19 in North Carolina, and how does that affect you and everybody at school, at your dorm and stuff? I know you're at a dorm right now.
Yeah, so I'm also from North Carolina, like Dr. Sandra, so she mentioned a lot of the situation here. But in terms of the campus life, I know that my university had actually sent a lot of people home, and we went virtual, and a lot of students took remote classes. There's a select few people who are able to stay on campus, like athletes or people who have like housing situations or family situations that requires them to be here, international students. And so I think we were at 1/3 capacity this past semester. And I think we're going to, with like the vaccines rolling out and everything, we're going to have try to go back to normal in the fall.
Thank you, Selena. How about you, Kathy, in Canada? So how's the situation, and how stressful were you with COVID? I mean, we still facing COVID, but it's been a year and a half. So everybody for me, it's a little bit relaxed because we have vaccine. I got vaccine, and many people have vaccine. So how's the situations in Canada, Kathy?
So far, it's been good. Today is actually our first day of lifting up our restrictions, our third lockdown, because before the third lockdown, it was chaos. It was all over the place. We were up to 2,000 when it was originally like 1,300, and then it spiked up to 2,000. So we had the lockdown, but today is the first day that we're officially back. So salons opening and everything back is open. And after that, the COVID rate has gone down so much better. I haven't seen any COVID notifications that's positive. All of it's just negative. Since when patients call to book an appointment, they tell me that they have already been vaccinated, either the first shot or the second shot. So I'm just like very, very happy that we're safe from it a little bit. But in a way, it's been pretty good so far.
Yes. Sam here. It to me, last year was stressful. Last year, going to supermarket is stressful. Working from home also stressful because you don't have the full resource. You don't have, but at the same time, I feel safer at home, and at the office, like even though we are spaced away from each other, we still feel the stress, and also feel the gossip. Who has COVID? Who doesn't have? So that's another stressful. I'm not sure you guys experience about gossiping at work about who have COVID and who's not. So this, I think, since March, for the last 3 months, a little bit calmed down. My nerve is calmed down a little bit. Feel a little safer to go outside. Feel safer to be with everybody that have already vaccinated. So it's a big difference from last year and this year. Would you agree, Dr. Sandra?
Oh yeah, and people are now feeling like they're getting back to normal. A little bit of their life back.
Yeah, I don't even think that I think that the term would be the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't even think that we ever reach this stage right now. I feel like maybe months and months away, but now it feels like, oh, you know what, maybe we are getting back to normal. And I'm not sure you heard California on June 15, we don't require masks anymore, and they're gonna be open up. So so back to normal, I guess.
May I add something to that?
Yeah.
From here in Canada? Yeah, so like you said, from your perspective, June 15th, no restrictions. Over here in Alberta, Canada, we are planning to reopen everything in beginning of July because everybody is wanting to go to the Calgary Stampede. So everybody, yeah, because of the rodeos, the arcade, the rides and all that. So everybody's just like pushing to get their vaccines in earlier so they can, in a way, go to the Stampede.
Is it in Ohio or is it in North Carolina that people give lottery out or something? They pull lottery every Friday and they say if you vaccinated, like last week, like a little boy who, not a little boy, he's like in middle school and he won like I think a scholarship to college or something like that for being vaccinated. So that, you know, the state is pushing, and I'm glad that they're pushing because, you know, it makes us feel better, and I do feel better. I know Selena, she pushing people to get vaccinated at school. I'm correct, you are in, like, you are encouraging people.
Yeah, yes. I'm one of my friends here on campus. She just started a club, and I think last month she had a talk about COVID-19 and encouraging Asian Americans to get vaccinated. And we were just kind of working on a little campaign to get flyers translated to different languages and reaching out to communities, and one of them happened to be like the Cambodian community, since I knew how, or I could like get my parents to help me like translate little flyers and campaign materials.
So what do you say to people when they don't want to get vaccinated? How do you encourage them to get vaccinated, Selena? Give me your best shot. Sell yourself.
I would say, yeah, get vaccinated as soon as you can. And if you are hesitant in any way, we totally understand like your reasoning, where you're coming from. But I think that like from like a public health perspective, we want to reach herd immunity as fast as possible so that we can protect our loved ones and those who can't get vaccinated.
Thank you, Selena. And also, yes, in California, I heard there's, I believe either 50% or over 50% of people have been vaccinated. So in my opinion, it is safe. I got vaccinated. I did not get any side effect. Do you four ladies get any side effect from the vaccine?
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay.
I did.
How bad was it?
The first night that I got my shot, I got in my left arm because doctor said, get on your left arm, don't get on your right arm, or else, you know, you'll have much more pain. So then that night when I got it, I could not sleep at all. My arm was in so much pain, I can barely lift it up to halfway. It was always like a third way or quarter, never fully like up straight or sideways. And then I just started to feel nauseous a little bit. Like the day after, I was like, "Ooh, my stomach does not feel good," but I made it through. And other than that, those were my only two symptoms: just my arm pain and a little bit of nauseous.
That's nothing then. That's nothing. So for people that have not get vaccinated, all four of us look pretty happy being vaccinated, correct? Yeah, and the reason I'm talking about this COVID and get vaccinated, life is a little better. Life is actually less relaxed, I mean, the idea that COVID is still there, it is still there, but we have a little bit freedom, meaning like put us into a peace of mind where we, when we wear masks, when we go outside, we feel a little bit more confident that, you know, people will not give us COVID or we go get COVID or we touch something and have COVID. But at the same time, our mind is a little settled. We're not anxious as much as last year. Correct, Dr. Sandra?
Yes. I mean, because last year nobody knew who was going to get it, who you were around, because it affected everybody differently.
Yes.
And that to me, that was the really interesting thing. You could have young people, old people, people in between, and some people would get really, really sick and be on ventilators in the hospital, and others, it was just like the flu. So even if you got it, you weren't ever sure exactly what was going to happen.
Yes, and that tie into our mental health is make sure we like even though we get vaccinated, I feel safe. I don't get any side effect. Only Kathy get a little side effect. So all of us 4 people basically keep us have peace of mind instead of we so worry about that. And that is how mental health is put peace of mind. Instead, you so scared of going outside. You so scared of meeting people. Now you can still wear a mask, but you can a little bit less stressful. Let's go back to our mental health and mental illness. How any of you lady know anybody that experience mental illness or mental health that you know us? Let's start with Dr. Sandra.
Yeah, so I have had some people that even during the COVID have experienced, kind of the mental illness side. They went, I think it was just that combination of that whole year dealing with COVID and, either being without a job, not sure what their job was going to look like. So the stress really did impact them, and they ended up being, having to be medicated for a little while. I know several people that are working to get off medications, and actually some of them were college age students, just because I felt really bad for the kids because they weren't going to school. Everything was virtual. They didn't have that interaction. So a lot of kids were really, really suffering.
Yes, I totally agree. In my areas, I think they went back to school in May. And yes, it's very important that kids have interactions with other people, even though the parents say, oh, they home, we can watch them, we can see them. But at the same time, kids, when they're growing up, they need to be with their friend. They need to be socialized. They cannot be stay home forever. And that's also another thing at school is, they start back up in California. I'm not sure in North Carolina. Let me put Selena back. Selena, you are back at school, right? You said like back onto campus, and your campus is open?
Yes, well, we're actually out for the summer now. I'm just on campus for other reasons.
And how does people at school, when they get back to, do they require to be vaccinated? And also, how does the kid feel? College kid feel?
Yeah, so I believe we're not required to be vaccinated, but we are encouraged to. And for those who are vaccinated, we put into our system that to saying that we are vaccinated. And we also have a testing site program here called Carolina COVID testing site, and I'm this past semester I had volunteered there, and what we do is have students come in once a week or twice a week, depending on if they're in Chapel Hill or on campus, or if they're a staff member, and we get them tested regularly so that we can track who has COVID and who hasn't, and who needs to be quarantined or isolated. And it's a process. It's a really thorough process, and really grateful to have that, because that's what really kind of helped us allow to have students back on campus.
Were you glad you back at school to see your friends, and your classmate, or you would prefer to do it online, to study online?
Right now it's like kind of in the middle, because as a rising senior, I also have my fair share of academic obligations where maybe social time isn't really the best right now, but also I do fortunately have a lot of friends in the Triangle area who do live not on campus, but around town, and I can spend some time with them now and then.
Yeah, those spending time with friends and families is important. And now we open up. So in California, we starting to open up so we can see our friend and family, and the kid especially, they need that bonding with their friends. I have a daughter, and she just loved being in school. It's totally different personality. They even though they still 6 feet apart, they still not allowed to go free running free at school with other classmates, but they can be with their class where they spread out, and that is something that every children need, is to see their teacher, also see their friends. And that's also a mental health, where for them not so be stressful, and for us we always thinking, oh, we are so stressful, but the kid as well, they are constantly, I think for the whole year they were home, see their friends on Zoom. They're not allowed to go out and see their friend, because we don't want them to get anything that might get them sick. And now it's even though even my daughter go to school like from only half a day, but she enjoyed that. She enjoyed the interactions with her friends, and you can see it's a totally different kid. It's totally it's more relaxed. The kid more relaxed. The kid see each other more happier than just to stay up inside the house and stare so much to the computer. So let's talking about self-care. We're talking about all these issues that we're facing, or we know that people. Dr. Sandra, what do you recommend for people to be less relaxed? I know COVID-19 kind of like it's still with us, but we are more relaxed. So what do you suggest other people do? I know that some people that lose sleep over a job, like because they lost job during COVID, or there's people that just constantly thinking, putting themselves into the stress. So what do you recommend people do to help loosen the stress?
So there's so many different tools. I love all these tools in my toolbox, but the one that's the easiest, and it's easier said than done sometimes, is sleep. Sleep is huge. That's where your body heals. That's where our brain heals. And so getting sleep is really of primary importance, making sure you get at least 7 hours. I mean, they say 7 to 8. I know sometimes I only get 6, and I can really tell when I don't get enough sleep, because we all have probably been there. You're cranky, you're irritable, but sleep actually affects your gut, which is where your immune system is housed. So that being able to have a good immune system is key as well, especially in fighting COVID. So making sure you get enough sleep and watching what you eat. Make sure you're not putting junk into your body, that you're eating healthy, nutritious foods. A lot of times when we're stressed, we don't reach for fruits and vegetables. We reach for potato chips and other things. So just really catching yourself and noticing what you're eating, how you're sleeping. Those are two of the easiest things to work on. But as you talked about, if your mind's racing and you can't sleep, what do? There's several things. I love journaling. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Get a spiral bound notebook. And if it's keeping you up at night, keep a journal beside your bed, and just, if you wake up, just write down what's on your mind. It doesn't have to be in any format, but sometimes just getting it out, whether it's talking to somebody or on paper, is huge. Let's see what else. Sleep, nutrition, like I said, it all comes back to the gut health, because we know that our gut makes 80 to 90% of serotonin, which is our feel-good neurotransmitter. It's a hormone that we used to think was just found in the brain. And that's where we prescribe medications to increase those levels. We now know that 80 to 90% of the serotonin is actually made in our gut. So making sure we're taking care of ourselves with sleep, nutrition is huge to help our gut be able to function and really help with our mental wellness.
I see you do a lot of exercise, a lot of yoga.
I do.
Exercise.
Yeah, so exercise, moving your body every day. at least probably 4 to 5 times a week, whether it's just walking. Find something you enjoy doing. If you feel like it's a chore, that's probably going to add more stress to your life. So find something you enjoy doing. It could be gardening, walking your dog, walking a neighbor's dog. Just getting outside in the fresh air is huge, and the sunshine. Yeah.
Good thing it's first day of June today. I'm not sure where you're at, but it's getting warm over here. So I'm assuming it's beautiful in North Carolina.
Yes, it was pretty nice today. Yeah.
Good. Let me add Kathy and Selena. Selena, what do you do to give yourself a me time?
Yeah, so I think Dr. Sandra basically hit the biggest point, which is sleep. I'll try to sleep when I can and not busy. And when I can't sleep, I try to put everything down that I need to do in my calendar, and so that way I can not worry about it. Sometimes might sound a little weird, but after I finish a big exam and I want to release some stress, like sometimes I still have that adrenaline running, so I can't quite sit there and just do nothing after. So maybe like after the whole week, my room is probably really untidy. So I will do something a little bit not stressful. You don't need to think about it too much, but a little mentally stimulating. So, tidy up a little bit, and then you feel nice afterwards, and you also don't feel like you were just like wasting time, like just sitting there.
Since you're a student, not procrastinate would help a lot, or would just not helping at all? Being procrastinate, probably you bring things more, or it just piling up?
I think procrastinating does add stress to a lot of students, but I think that you know yourself best. So some people know that they can put their best work in when they're under a little bit of pressure, while others need as much time as they can. So I would say you would know yourself best.
Thank you, Selena. Kathy, what do you do for fun? Let's show our audience, what do you do to give yourself me time?
Yeah, for my relaxation, I guess it's just not just me. I always call my sister or my mom to come on a walk with me because it's we get cooler weather now. We're like, it's no more rain, so I always try to ask my mom if she wants to go for a walk with me to like relieve her stress, not think about her hands or from work because it's like so tiring. And that's a really good way for me to handle stress because I see my mom relieving her stress. So as soon as I see that, I'm relieving my stress as well. I also do like cleaning the house when I am alone. So like if my sister and my parents are at work and I had the day off from work, then that's my time to like, okay, let's clean up. Let's make this house perfect for my mom. Because like my mom's my like priority. So if she has stress, then I would try to take her stress and put it onto me in some way to like relieve that stress by going on a walk, reading a book that I'm currently reading, and just like relax with my sister. So that's how I spend a lot of my relaxation.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you, Dr. Sandra. I totally agree on sleep. I'm not good with housework, gardening. Our audience, Sam, said he said, I do gardening and clean the house. It's not something that Linda would enjoy. I do a lot of reading. I do enjoy reading, and I do spend a lot of time sleeping. So I will take Dr. Sandra advice on sleeping. It's just not enough time to sleep in a day, but I do enjoy sleeping. Sam also said reading the news, what's going around. Sam, I totally agree. I enjoy reading. I try not to watch so much because sometimes commentary on TV affect how you think, and so reading make your brain run a little bit better. And from what I experience, so I like to read and I like to sleep. So that's what the two things that I will I will do. I know Dr. Sandra. She's very healthy. She's very what I call earthy. She's very into natural stuff. Can you help our audience understand what you do as a life coach? I know you do life coach, and then what do you recommend people do? I know you made homemade
Kombucha.
Yeah, I went to your home website. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Can you share a little bit to our audience, and can you also share a little bit on how what you put in your body is important, so that way our audience understand a little bit of what you do, so they can either follow you, or they can understand what is it that you coaching in life coach.
Yeah, so basically the life coaching I do is really about finding balance in your life. There's so many different areas. As we've talked about, there's your family, there's your faith, there's your career, finances. Finances are huge, and financial stress during COVID, even before or after that, has played a part. So it's really taken a big picture look at your life, and you may have one area that is perfectly balanced. Say it's your time with your family, but your finances are suffering. So I really work with people to help them take a more holistic approach at kind of this wheel of life, and where is it out of balance, and how can we bring more balance to those areas that are out of balance. And like I said, and fitness is part of it. And with the fitness part goes the food that you feed, the food that we feed our bodies. So it's making sure that we're not eating too much fast food, processed food, fried foods, really trying to get more vegetables, fruits into our body, drinking clean water, avoiding sodas, if you're going to drink soda, don't drink a diet soda. That's the worst. People don't believe it, but they think they're being healthier, but diet sodas have really bad chemicals in them. So I'm like, just drink water, find some carbonated water if you need that carbonation. What else? And then like the kombucha, I got into making kombucha last year during COVID, and that is a fermented tea, and it's carbonated. It is wonderful. It's especially good for your gut. So it helps with a lot of gut issues as well. That's been something that I've been able to incorporate and share with others. So it's really taken a big picture look at your life and seeing where it's out of balance, and finding that time to say, you know what, I need to do all this stuff today, but my body is telling me I need to rest. So sometimes you just have to listen to your body's signals.
What's the difference between when you're talking about gut and when talking about somebody who detox, like what is it? The popular thing is detox your body. What's the difference between that?
Well, and there's so many different detoxes out there, I think, and I personally do like a 3-day detox sometime, probably twice a year when the times change. But it's really just the fruits and vegetables and clean water for 3 days, and really not a lot of meats, letting your body kind of heal itself. And, there's some good detoxes out there. There's some scary ones. So, but it's just really eating whole foods and avoiding processed foods is the biggest thing.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. Let me bring Selena and Kathy. Kathy and Selena, any regimen, any diet that you guys do to help you guys calm down? I mean, like for you guys very young, probably comfort food is junk food, but lie to us, make us feel better. You eat carrot or something.
I do eat a lot of salads, but like
good.
my like, as Dr. Sandra said, the junk food, and some people, they prefer that than like having fruits and veggies. Well, I'm like the opposite. I'd rather have like a veggie or fruit than having junk food on most days. But then if I'm like really, really stressed, then I would, try to find my secret comfort food. But other than that, I mainly just try to eat a lot of oranges, a lot of bananas, some apples, whatever I have in the fridge.
Selena, what are you eating?
Yeah, so, well, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do crave those like salty and sweets, but For me personally, like even though I crave those things, I would take a bite or two to like to satisfy, but even too much is of either is makes me feel a little sick. And so especially on campus now, the campus food is really expensive, and so it kind of forces me to go and get groceries on my own. And the easiest thing to get are the salads, and make a salad, or the fruits. And so I think that is helping me eat healthier every day.
Thank you, ladies. That make Dr. Sandra feel so much better. Well, you know what? It's a really good conversation today. What I really want to get across is I want our audience to basically take care of themselves. One thing, and a second thing, to understand what mental wellness versus mental illness. And what I really want my audience to understand is, or to get from today's show, is they are, even though it's separate thing, but they tie together. It starts with mental wellness, which is taking care of yourself. But many people don't start with taking care of themselves. They usually found out when they have mental illness, like anxiety, panic attack, and that. And then they realize that that's the reason that they're not taking care of themselves, or they so used. It's not that they're not taking care of themselves, that the excuse is they have so much thing to do and so much is going on every single day. It's like the wheel just keep turning. So when the wheels keep turning, and that's put strain and stress on themselves. And that's when people found out, when they have anxiety attack or panic attack, that they need to, the first thing you need to realize, that there is panic attack, and there is a and it's all start from your head. It start on from how you taking care of yourself. And Dr. Sandra touched base on that, it's two separate things, but it's tied together. And that's what I really want our audience to know, is it start with your head and then go to your body. And most people get to their body and they realize, oh, that's what they have. And also Dr. Sandra also touched on that, is when you have mental illness, when you taking care of yourself, you do get better. It's not like you have mental illness and it stay with you forever. When you're taking care of yourself, especially sleep regularly, eat regularly, exercise regularly. And I do know people that have mental illness, and I do know people that come out of that. But it's not a one day thing. It's a process.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a process to get people to get to mental illness. It's also a process to get out of that mental illness, to come to a mental health and basically being healthy. So thank you, Dr. Sandra. Do you have anything to add or anything like that, so that way your message come across today?
So one of the things that I always hear is you can't pour from an empty cup. So, and a lot of times, especially women, are always taking care of everybody else. We pour into other people and we neglect ourselves sometimes. So just making sure that you're starting to be aware of just what your day looks like and how much you're giving to others versus taking some time for yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. How about you, Selena? Do you have anything you want to conclude for our audience? What message you want to our audience to know regarding mental health and self-care today?
Yeah, I think that mental health is something that has always been ongoing, even before COVID-19. And so just as we've talked about today, like just being able to identify and accept and learn how to better yourself and your mental health is really important. And it starts with you going and taking action after this talk today.
Okay, Kathy, you want to say anything? And to our audience, you in Canada, so you are representing Canada right now. So
no worries. Yeah, for our audience, I really want them to know that to know yourself first, like put your feelings first aside, then taking care of someone else, because your feelings, you're the number one priority for this body. And I just want everybody to know that whoever is facing mental health, that they're not alone. There are some people who are experiencing the exact same thing that you are, and that they want to talk it out too. If, like, for someone who has the same problem, it would be easier for them to talk to each other since they're not alone. There's someone that's facing the exact same situation as someone.
Thank you, Kathy. Yes, exactly. I forgot. Reach out to your friend, reach out to your family, reach out to your doctor and say, this is how I feel. And, some people, when they are feeling it, they think that, that it's the end of the world, but no, they're not the only one. So reach out if you don't have anybody at home, reach out to your doctor and see, hey, this is what I feel like. So, basically don't be silent, just reach out. And yeah. Well, thank you, Dr. Sandra. Thank you, lady. Thank you, Kathy and Selena, for being here today. I appreciate your time, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you, you three ladies again soon. And this is a really good topic. We should, talk often, so that way our audience are aware that, they need to take care of themselves in order for them to take care of their family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we are at the end, so thank you, our audience, for being here today. I appreciate that. And our topic today is mental wellness and also self-care. And I hope you enjoy our show. Like I said, take care of yourself before taking care of somebody else, because if you want to take care of somebody else and yourself is deteriorating, you're not going to be able to take care of other people. So important, yourself is important. And like Dr. Sandra, Kathy, and Selena said, sleep is the most important. Please get plenty of sleep, get plenty of rest, good exercise, and also good diet, good food. So thank you, and I will see you next time. Thank you, and Jim Hiệp Lìa.